let's do this thing, right? 22 Freemasons on trial, secret society or criminal network. This next story sounds like something pulled straight out of a conspiracy forum. Secret societies, coded networks, and alleged hitmen for hire. Except this one isn't online speculation. It's in a courtroom right now. 22 individuals connected to Freemasonry are standing trial accused of operating what prosecutors describe as a coordinated criminal enterprise, including allegations of facilitating a hitman for hire network. Let that sink in. Not a lone bad actor, not an isolated incident, a network. And that's what's making the case explode in attention because of the organization at the center of it, Freemasonry. One of the oldest, most secretive fraternal organizations in the world. For centuries, it's been surrounded by mystery, symbolism, and whispers of influence, with members ranging from everyday professionals all the way up to presidents, judges, and global power brokers. To its members, it's a brotherhood built on fraternity, moral philosophy, and tradition. To its critics, it's always been something else entirely, a closed-door network where power, loyalty, and secrecy intersect. And now this case is forcing those two images to collide head-on. According to prosecutors, the accused weren't just loosely connected. They were allegedly used their relationships, trust, and structure to coordinate criminal activity, including arranging violence through intermediaries. The idea being when you have a tight-knit organization built on loyalty and discretion, it creates an environment where communication can be trusted and questioned less. Now, to be clear, and this matters, Freemasonry as an institution is not on trial here. This is a case against individuals. But perception doesn't work that way because when something like this hits the public, people don't separate the individuals from the institution. They start asking bigger questions. How much influence do these organizations really have? How tight are these internal networks? And what happens when that kind of structure is abused? That's why this case is getting so much attention, because it taps into something deeper than just the charges. It taps into a long-standing public fascination with secret organizations operating behind the scenes, and whether that perception is fair or not. Moments like this give it fuel. Now, as the trial unfolds, everything comes down to evidence. Prosecutors will have to prove coordination, intent, and actual criminal conduct, not just association. Defense attorneys, on the other hand, will argue exactly what you'd expect, that this is a guilt by association, inflated narratives, and individuals being tied to something larger simply because of a shared membership. And that's where this gets interesting, because if prosecution proves its case, this becomes one of the most high-profile examples of an internal network being leveraged for organized crime. But if they don't, then it becomes a cautionary tale about how quickly mystery and reputation can amplify allegations into something much bigger than the facts. Either way, this trial is doing something that rarely happens with groups like this. It's pulling them out of the shadows and putting everything on the record. And for an organization built on privacy and tradition, that alone is the headline. What do you got for me, Doug?
Well, if this was in the U.S. and this actually could prove connection with the organization, that would fall under what I believe is called RICO.
For sure.
And I only know that because I watched Sons of Anarchy. You know, that's how you try to bring down an organization is usually through RICO. And in the U.S., that's how you'd bring down the whole organization. But I don't know if France has some sort of law like that. You know what I mean?
Not with Brigitte in charge.
Yeah, you said it. Now, to prove a violation of racketeer-influenced and corrupt organizations, the RICO Act, the prosecution or plaintiff must establish the existence of a criminal enterprise, its effect on interstate commerce, the defendant's association with it, a pattern of racketeering activity, at least 2 acts in 10 years, and the defendant's participation in that enterprise. So existence of an enterprise, association with the enterprise. The defendant must be associated with or employed by the enterprise. Okay. Pattern of racketeering activity. The defendant must have committed at least 2 predicate acts of racketeering: mail fraud, murder, bribery, money laundering within the 10-year period. Well, this is all a murder for hire networking problem, so that would be check. Conduct participation. The defendant must have participated in operation or management of the enterprise through the pattern of racketeering. Management. The defendant must have participated in the operation or management of the enterprise through the pattern. That alone. See, this is where like the law school comes in. All of these are different factors. That factor, conduct or participation, is defined by case law. So now you'd have to go to the cases and find how do they define participated in the operation or management of the enterprise through the pattern of racketeering activity. So really, you would need to show that some of those hitman for hire correspondence happened at a Mason meeting, a Mason event, through Mason networks.
It's in a memo or something.
Right. It's one thing like to say the Indians baseball team is the problem. 2 baseball players coming up with a thing isn't enough or 3 or 4 or 5. It has to be like through the organization. Boom. Thank you. Look at Class A. He's cooked on his own, not the team.
Not the team, right.
But if he was coordinating this with
the Astros
or just other team affiliates. So if they could prove like you did this in the locker room and it was an organized meeting where you told other players in the locker room, and if they could even more so prove that somebody else in the team, like, management.
Since you bring up gambling, I'll give you something closer. Chauncey
please.
Billups with the mafia and all of them gambling. That's a RICO. They got hit with a RICO. Chauncey Billups because of the mafia. He was the head coach, and they had other players. That was all of it. And they may not all know they're part of the same organization, but hey, you have your hand in the pot.
But what was that through? What team was what?
The Astros.
Okay, but did it take down the team?
No.
Boom. So that comes back to this isn't going to implicate or in any way define or cast any blame on the institution itself unless they could prove that it was like carried out as an act of masonry.
Because it's perfect. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Portland ain't going down for this, but everybody that's part of that had a hand in it is definitely part of the RICO.
Interesting.
You're totally right. Now I need to go to Professor Xiong. This guy, I'm surprised this guy's alive. I got to tell you at this point, he is just uncovering so much. And this is like 3 minutes. This is him explaining Freemasonry and its process.
The first thing you need to understand about secret societies is that there are different layers to secret society, okay? So in Scottish Rite Freemasonry, there are 33 grades. 33 grades. So you start at 1 and then you slowly climb, okay? Some people can skip. And at each different grade, you're taught different.
Can we be very clear about something right off the rip? I'm going to watch this guy rip up a chalkboard for the next 3 minutes. And this is clearly at a university.
Right.
Like this is clearly an organized, scholarly, like this is a class.
Yes.
What university is allowing this? And how lucky are these kids that this is what they get to show up to? Like, I gotta go to class and listen to Mr. Xiong. And they sit down and it's just like, let me tell you about the 33 levels of Freemasonry. You're like, this is worth my $100,000 and some. I'll go on double debt for this bad boy.
Please, John.
This is a new edition. This is a new edition of the Smart Board, bro.
But dude, this is classic.
Oh, this
Straight
is
up
how,
chalk.
This is how articulate he is at doing this. He doesn't need to recalibrate the board at all. He's like,
Exactly.
Beep,
That's
boop,
what I'm
boop, boop.
saying.
And wait, what's that movie with Matt Damon, Robin Williams?
Oh, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, it's like watch me rip up
You
this
see
chalkboard.
You see this? I can do this in my sleep. Sorry, you can't figure it out yet.
And it all leads back to Trump.
This is child's play for me. This is child's play.
Secrets or understanding of the world. So maybe here,
Basically
you
one
have 4
piece.
grades, okay?
Right, Will?
In
Basically,
the
one
bottom
piece.
grade,
up.
all you're taught is just
Don't
to be a
ruin it.
good person, to do good works, to do charity, to be kind. That's all you're
That's
taught.
goofy. Sorry.
Okay? But as you move up, you're taught something else, which is we can do God's work. Okay? God has given us a mission. We must do God's work. Okay? And up here is we don't need God.
Mm,
Okay?
The-
higher you
the next
climb,
one's the
more secrets
worst.
you're told. And then
it gets worse.
as you move up further, you're taught we don't need God. Okay? So, guys, I'm not part of a secret society. I'm just making this up, okay? I'm just showing you how they might work.
I'm not a part of this thing.
Speculating. The last layer is we can be God by killing God.
Whoa,
Do you understand?
that was a turn I
You
didn't
don't
expect.
understand?
Dude, that's what I mean. Is literally, 7:30 in the morning, hangover from pitcher's
Guys.
night the night before, and you're just sitting there like, yeah, I think I got that one. I think I got it.
Locked in with a hangover? This is some good stuff.
This is you got that? You want to kill God? Kill God. You're looking at the guy next. You write that right?
Let me see
Kill
your
God.
notes.
What the hell? I missed last week. What the hell?
Primary school,
Talk
you
about
work
last
hard,
week.
you learn a
Oh.
lot. You go to high school. In high school, they teach you everything you learn in primary school is wrong. Let us teach you new knowledge. You work hard, you learn all this new knowledge. You go to university, the professors there are like, everything you learn in high school is wrong. So let's learn something new, okay? And then you go to graduate school and you're taught everything you learn in university is wrong.
Pythagorean theorem?
So that's how these secret societies work. So the word we use is compartmentalize. So it's a need to know.
In
Okay? Does that make
English,
sense? You are only taught what you need to know at your grade. Okay? And as you can see, the secrets get worse and worse as you climb.
Really?
So how
They
do
do
you
get
maintain
juicier.
secrecy in the system?
F around and find out, Char.
So there are 2 major mechanisms.
holy cow! That's been a smart board the whole time. I
Oh, yeah,
totally
dude,
missed
at
that,
the
Ricky.
beginning of the
That's
video,
what I
it was there
told
the
you.
whole time.
Ricky, I missed that.
That was
Okay,
That's right.
I totally. I don't want to go back to so we had just so we know.
I'm with this blue.
we
ribbon
are
school nominee
we
here.
are literally passing ships. We just had 2 separate conversations with each other.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Literally, I thought that was a chalkboard
I'm
this
with you.
whole
I thought
time.
the same thing.
I thought
Hey, I picked up
talking
on
in a
y'all
modern
what y'all
sense,
was saying as well.
No,
No,
I
dude, my
genuinely-
mind is blown.
I genuinely thought he was Matt
Who
Damon.
thought this got that tech would get that good?
No, Alex, I've seen what they have in the current school, like our old school, what they have now. It is leagues above that piece of shit that couldn't sense where you were really trying to write. It is an actual like chalkboard, but not a chalkboard.
Hey,
Like,
Brad
you can
Richardson
write
thought it was a
exact-
chalkboard too. That is cutting it. Well,
It
he's
even
also.
sounds like one.
I know. It's got speakers. It's just like the Tesla makes an engine sound like. This thing's like.
They're probably a mini.
And then you could change his
speaker.
horn. It could be like, "Yee-haw."
They're probably a mini speaker amplifying, like pick
Yeah.
up you amplifying over the.
Professor
start.
Young's really ripping it up
You can
there.
tell when they put his fingers on it and it's nails.
But what y'all said still earlier made sense. Like, look how he's ripping up the smartboard. He don't even need to do that. It's still, I still felt
Ricky, my mind is blown. And you know what's even cooler about modern technology is he can just print that, or he could, save it as a PDF.
Posted for the students.
Exactly. I'm just floored by how high definition that technology is.
Imagine if you were.
We made it halfway through. Ricky said it to my face. That's a smart board. And I was like, the chalkboard. I don't know. It's a chalkboard.
Imagine
It's a cool chalkboard. And Ricky's like, sure, dude, whatever. It took me
No,
watching
along the
him
ride.
click different colors. And I'm like,
Imagine being the hungover student. Think it was a chalkboard too, going,
whoa, this class is full of surprises.
let me see your notes.
Best class ever.
Best class ever. Mr. Xiong, take it away.
Okay. The first major mechanism is
Yellow.
incentives. Incentives. Sorry. Incentives. The idea here
Islands.
is the higher you climb, the more power you have.
That's a separate click over on the button.
I get it, but like,
You'd have to walk over, clip, boop, eraser, boop. Here he's like, it's part of the PDF now. I got ideas. Sometimes I change them. Boop.
So these people in the middle, all they care about is maintaining their privilege. Okay, so
Who doesn't
make
want to
sense?
maintain their
Incentives.
privilege? Come on.
the higher you climb, the more invested you are. Therefore, you want to believe the lie.
Believe it.
Then there's blackmail. So if you really want to climb to the top, you have to reveal your secrets too.
Dude,
So
this
there's
is a
blackmail.
classroom.
Okay? And we talked about this, right? The idea of
So
transgression.
jealous.
If you really want to climb to the top,
7:30
you
class
have to
did
commit
not pass
crimes
me over.
with other people. So therefore, you can never betray other people.
What degree is this for?
And
We went to college together. Do you think this is being taught in any classes that we just missed out on?
Hey, here's what I'll tell you. There's definitely like corners in the philosophy department that get off the beaten path. I experienced them. They were a good time.
I was gonna say I didn't experience any of this.
Philosophy changed my life. Hence a
No
3-hour
MK Ultra
show
for
every
you?
week, way off the beaten path. What did you say, Ricky? Sorry.
I was just seeing if you went on any MK Ultra beaten path.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
These
dude. Trust
classes.
me, I
Ricky,
am
have you not been
also.
on this show? Yes, he did.
I'm a controlled opposition.
Alex, what do you think that wine class was at Miami? That was
An excuse
MK
to
Ultra.
get, well, I do believe the professor had a single guy flirted the fence. I think he had ultimatum. He hosted us at his house for a wine party at the end of the year. Tons and tons of wine, tons and tons of kids. He walked around that bee like the guy who owned Jurassic Park. Looked like him, acted like him. He's like, "Welcome to my park," and he's got all the wine left over for the semester at his house. Like, I've made food, I've put on this party. Say thank you.
It sounds like a classy man.
He was classy. Take your shoes off. Stay a while.
Oh, was it a
Have
no
some more
shoes
wine.
party, Larry David? No shoes party.
I'm glad I got out of there. Kreutz was very comfortable with him. That should tell you everything.
Shocker.
They were very comfortable with each other. They were
Shocker.
super comfy. Really comfortable. They were comfortable.
They were comfortable and you were disgruntled.
I had to go.
I'm a little disgruntled.
Now nice property. I like what you got here. I'm going to leave.
I'm good. Thanks for the pregame, chump.
the last thing
Oh,
that
last thing.
helps the system is confirmation bias. And the idea of
Never.
confirmation bias is you just want to believe what you want to believe, okay? People don't want to believe the government lies to them. People want to believe the government tells the truth.
Of course.
So we like to live in a fantasy world, okay? So
Big
this
guy.
is what keeps the
Big
system
guy.
intact. Okay? So this is how secret societies keep their secrets.
SpongeBob Big Guy Pants okay. Don't you just throw your head in the sand. It's a lot more comfortable. So, we got the Masons. They're on trial. It's a big deal.
They
Fun
did it.
stuff. Ironically, I'm going to give credit to. Here's the thing about a psyop of controlled opposition. It's how they control the real narrative. So they have to have little beads of truth in there, but also using the truth to steer you off the path. That is what Candace Owen is. She is controlled opposition to give you enough to have your confidence, to make you feel like somebody's doing something in a world where nobody's doing nothing. And she'll give you just enough to give you the confidence, but never enough to do anything with it or actually bring about justice. That being said, in yesterday's episode, she did do the hard, the homework. We'll give her the credit for the heavy lifting, where she found all the moments of the occult signals following Charlie's assassination.
Maybe started tingling immediately following Charlie's assassination, when virtually nothing they were telling us made any sense. And all of the leaders who were communicating to us just felt the need to keep saying 33. Take a listen.
Take a listen.
And that was about, I think it was like 33 minutes before he was killed.
Charlie Kirk was assassinated at UVU in the afternoon. About a 33-hour manhunt ensued.
Bad stuff happens. And for 33 hours, I was...
Bug-eyed Cattell back there is like, you did it. You did the thing. Good boy.
Chameleon.
Yeah, good boy.
Where's my wife?
Yeah, good job. I just love he turns around. I did the thing. You did the thing.
I was praying that I was for 33 hours.
33? He's like, yeah, you did the thing.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us.
In 33 hours, we have made historic progress for Charlie.
For
You
Valhalla.
get it. 33. Look, it is, in my educated opinion, the most obvious signaling ever, alerting those that are in the cult that this was a hit that was done by the cult and for the cult. Now,
it's true. That's just a more recent event, but we're planting the seeds so you could start picking up on the patterns as they continue to develop. Yes, Doug.
I Googled, Brecksville has
Yes.
a lodge, and apparently they have a table every year at the Brecksville Home Days, the 4th of July event or whatever, July event. Your chance to maybe ask some questions, man.
Well, here's what I'll say. If you look at the Frankie's Walk
Okay,
east of Chicago, that building is a Masonic building. I treated myself to some Chinese food on Saturday.
Was it good?
Oh my God.
Super
always
jealous.
Nobody makes better pot stickers than Frankie's.
It's good.
Literally, after Yummy Yummy went away in my youths, nothing has been even close in the pot sticker game to Frankie's.
Good.
So I'm going to, it's Treat Yourself Saturday.
Yeah, why not?
Israel Adesanya. Make sure you say that quickly so the algorithm doesn't get
I was
pissed.
like, where are we going here?
Got his booty cheeks clapped. And it was a great night for Chinese food on Saturday. Got to watch it, sit at home, have some Sprite. Good times. Really splurge. Anywho, I'm walking to get my Chinese food in this Masonic building. And, of course, because my brain is broken, I obsess over that every time I go to this building. I'm just
Every
like,
time I'm
"Hup,
there,
there it is, and this is the damn thing, and da-da-da." What has been in the catacombs of this building, especially when they first developed Brecksville, the city. But as I'm walking in, you're looking at the doors, and the vast majority, all of them but one, are on the face of the street face, they're storefronts, right? So you got a pizza shop,
It's like a little plaza.
bingo. But there's one door in the middle, obviously, and the stone is chiseled out all around it. It is like the building. It's the door to the main infrastructure.
Original door, probably, too.
And where did we grow up? None of us lived there, so it doesn't matter that we could tell the internet. But where did we grow up? Brecksville. It literally says founding head Freemason, I think Douglas Breck. Nice. And it's
Relative of
that's where you get Brecksville. So now I've planted the seed of, I want to dig down the rabbit hole of who that guy is.
Well, actually, I've Googled the history.
Well,
of
then hit me up
Brecksville.
with it, Doug.
Well,
Jeez,
obviously
you're
it
holding
was
out
land
on
given
us.
to Colonel Brex. after the Civil War. He sent people out here, but from my understanding, there were no actual Breck's descendants that like lived here or had some came here and died. Like I didn't think there was actually descendants that actually lived here, but maybe the some that did come here before they died must have founded that then.
Well, to keep your power,
but Colonel Breck
you run out of
never actually
sacrifices.
set foot here, so it must have been a descendant of his then.
Well, that's what it says. We got a Breck.
Bill.
That headed the building. So again, one of the more sophisticated cities around suburbs around Cleveland, clear Masonic ties. Right across the street, ironically, an Underground Railroad building.
Sick.
So the red brick wine.
The red wine.
Yeah.
775 or whatever it's called now.
Yep. That building was used during the Underground Railroad.
The old church was also.
It was.
It was.
Yep.
Yeah.
What history that city had.
Well, that's what I mean.
It does,
and
Brexville
when
really
you
does.
go to our old
North Royalton, Broadview Heights, all those surrounding used to be part of Brecksville.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I could
So-
believe it because even like something always just turned me on to our old friend Steve's house where he's got like the Fitzwater family.
Right.
Like he lives off of Fitzwater Road
Yeah.
and the Fitzwater family is buried deep in his backyard. You could tell by the way, like these aren't just like stones.
Yeah.
Like these were sophisticated members that clearly helped develop the area. And that's where it comes down to like these people, one, humbling the narrative of the world. Like everybody hates white men. They're 8% of the world and they take all the flack. When you look at the country, the people that really are the bad actors or the privilege that has suffocated the country, it is so few people. It's astonishing. And it's the Fitzwater. It's a person who has been here since we fought the British and then helped build this thing. And then they got to be the first bank or the first
They were
few
part of-
restaurants
I
or
think
the
he was
like
a partner of
when
the
you
Colonel.
see and
He
when you
sent him out to do the survey of the land and everything. I think.
bingo. And when you're foundational in the development of infrastructure, you are the infrastructure. So again, the bloodlines run deep. And the thing to take away about the Masons more than anything is that this is more like the knight or foot soldier arm of like this Rothschild cult that runs the world.
Yeah.
They're like the March soldiers. They're not necessarily the powers that be, but some of those at the top, the big circle at the tippy top of the triangle where it's like they want to kill God. Yeah, those guys, they got some power. They're pretty influential. The lights are flickering. The storm's getting to us.
Crazy.
I hope we don't lose you here at some point. I do want to talk about a couple other Masonic things before we totally lose the topic. I want to talk. Here is Pop Culture Brain. You've probably seen him before. Great at reporting. One of the things I want to talk about is the 33 Club in Disney World. If you've never heard of this thing, have you heard of it?
33.
Wait, Alex, real
Doug,
quick.
have you heard of the 33 Club?
Real quick, I did some Googling. John Fitzwater, key figure in the family. He served as a Brecksville town trustee from 1843 to 1859. Fitzwater Family Cemetery. The road is also home to the Fitzwater Family Cemetery, which was historically the largest family cemetery located on private property in the city. Historic legacy. While many members of the family, including John and his wife Sabrina, eventually moved to Tennessee to pursue sheep farming, their remains were later brought back to the family plot in Brecksville. So they had some family here and then eventually left.
Yeah, but even then, to further develop their influence, they maintain their stronghold and power of the infrastructure in the local suburbs of this area to continue developing further. I mean, it's crazy. And it speaks to like where the real concentration of power lies. It's the foundational figures that built the infrastructure,
History
not
is
your Polish neighbor that moved here maybe a generation or 3 ago. Anyway, getting to pop culture brain and peeling back the layers of the 33 Club at Disney World.
Couple spent $400,000 trying to get back into Disney's most exclusive club, only to lose in court, so now they're spilling all the secrets. In case you're not aware, the Disney parks have a very exclusive membership organization called Club 33. It costs tens of thousands of dollars a year, and people wait decades to be allowed in. Scott and Diana Anderson were members for 5 years after being on the wait list for 12 years prior to that. But after Scott was found passed out on a bench in Disneyland smelling of alcohol,
Classic.
they were kicked out of Club 33. He says he was suffering from a vestibular migraine that day after having 2 glasses of wine.
He did drink it around the world like Doug did 2 weeks ago.
I did. I succeeded though. I didn't do.
I didn't get
mixed
kicked
drinks.
out of the
I did
33
beer.
Club.
I didn't piss myself on a
beer,
bench.
beer.
How many countries you did, Doug?
I did all of them except the U.S., Canada, and the U.K. because it
So
was
that's
all
not all of
beers
them.
I could
How
get
many?
here. They were all beers I could get here, so I wasn't worried.
Doug math.
So the couple sued Disney.
Well,
to
no,
get
I
back
ended up
into
buying
Club
multiple
33.
Florida beers instead to make up for those countries I skipped. Don't worry, I did the amount of countries.
Good dog. We have no doubts in you, man.
Some interesting beers in the China. Green tea beer. I was not a big fan.
Doug math.
Like vestibular migraine that day after having 2 glasses of wine. So the couple sued Disney to get back into Club 33, only for a jury to decide against them. And now they're ready to burn every bridge. So they've revealed to The Hollywood Reporter what you get when you're in Club 33. Besides access to the members-only dining and cocktail lounges in Disneyland and Disney California Adventure, where they hand-slice prime rib for you at the table, you get 5 VIP tours per person annually. The tour is basically a skip-the-line pass, and 10 people can go on one. Scott also says our park fees were waived, plus we got 100 park tickets for guests. Diana added, as a Club 33 member, you don't have to pay for the Lightning Lane or Genie Pass or all that other garbage. We used to get to ride the Lily Bell, which was Walt's personal car on the Disneyland Railroad train. And as members, they got to spend time in Walt Disney's old Disneyland apartment. Diana says they were even allowed to use the bathroom in there and poop where Walt pooped. A lot of celebrities are in Club 33, and the Andersons had some wild stories about them. Some friends of theirs were apparently denied a Thanksgiving dinner reservation at Club 33 because Tom Hanks shut down the entire club so he could have dinner with his family. Rebel Wilson was suspended for 30 days from Club 33 for
I remember
taking
that.
photos in the bathroom and videos with Mickey, both of which are against the rules. And they also said it was a big scandal when Katy Perry auctioned off access to the lounge at a charity event for $160,000. Diana says you are not allowed to give your
To get access one time, $160,000.
It's for the kids.
For charity.
And they love their kids at a
Yeah.
Katy Perry charity.
Yeah. What a nice tax write-off for her.
Yeah, that's what they're. Yeah.
Not to mention her cut.
They
They're
had some
buying
wild-
kids.
tickets to
They had
charity.
some wild
And the
thieves
Andersons
party
say
in the 33 Club, man. I know it.
Oh,
I
dude.
know that.
You know it gets dirty in there. It's been dirty at least once.
that's one of the biggest problems these days with Club 33. Members are straight up selling access and all the exclusive shit for a profit. Quote, members sell their 100 park tickets. They're getting about $125 for lunch in the club a head. Then there's the exclusive Club 33 merch. Members walk out with 10 bags in their hands of the latest releases of merchandise. They put it all up for sale. One of them even has an online store. We got Club 33 gardening vests and clipping shears that had the 33 logo on the leather pouch. They would sell those items online and get $1,000 for them because they're so rare. There's also special events, and people sell access to those events. The Andersons specifically brought up a dinner inside the Haunted Mansion. The couple calls the devotion to Disney a cult. Scott says it is very truly cultish. Every time they built a new ride and it wasn't up to snuff, members are like, what would Walt do? Diana added, it is a cult and Walt's the Messiah. Of course, what's so ironic here is that even though they're now very critical of Disney, Club 33, and the people who pay for it, they fought for years to get back in after being kicked out. So I guess it can't be all bad.
I hate these people with a passion. I hate
Thank
them.
you, Will.
I hate
Thank
them.
you, Will. Thank you.
They're actually garbage people. They did that on the most moral high ground esque.
Disney is
Yeah.
such a money grab.
Well, and Walt Disney was also a Freemason.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I mean, it all worked out. And
I think
Historically, a person that hates certain person.
you walk in the front door and everybody gets to rub his head when they walk in. Like,
he talks back.
No,
I'm still here.
Not his head. They get to like touch his brain container
Yeah,
what?
because he has his brain frozen.
I think it's his head. I think it's Ted Williams. I think it's like I think they're both just like you hanging around. Yep.
how's it hanging, Ted?
No, Alex, haven't you watched Fallout,
Dude.
man? He's the talking brain. He's probably in a machine, able to talk to people, still giving orders.
No, he was too.
I just want you to picture a Mickey Mouse with a vat brain on its head, just like this is Walt, and he's like, I'm Walt. Well, it's me. I swear to God, I'm in here.
prove it.
Ask me about Germany in 1940.
Prove it. He just goes on a tirade. We always belonged to Poland.
Yeah. They weren't invading. They were coming to talk. They just wanted to hang out.
They had nuclear arms, I swear.
That's him. That's it. Oh my God. How did they do that? Walt, you couldn't have them program your voice. I prefer this.
This is the real me. I'm a real boy.
I'm a real mouse. I'm a mouse.
Jonas Brothers are gonna wear those purity rings.
That was very South Park, Will.
I got one last clip for us. This one goes to Randall Carlson and the Kings of Sellouts. He's on the Sellout Experience.
Speaking of sellouts, ask John.
Yeah, literally. But going to the Sellout Experience where watch Joe Rogan right at the beginning. He was like, I don't know about that. Like his show is so not what it used to be. Randall Carlson and I can't remember the other guy that he's obsessed with who believes like in Tartaria and all that. He has a documentary that Joe's in on Netflix. It'll come to me. Anyway, the two of them who he used to praise are like, yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on with these Freemasons. He's like, I'm not touching that.
I don't touch
my handler said, we're not allowed to touch that anymore.
Have you heard of my $300 million Spotify deal? I don't touch that.
Alpha Brain. It's really good. It's a pill that's going to dehydrate you, but you'll feel good about being miserable.
You'll feel good. You'll be drained like a raisin.
Water. Don't you feel awake? You're alive.
A couple of Masons. They're very cool.
Well, most
great.
Masons don't really understand the corpus of symbolism that they're sitting on top of. I got to say that. That's the thing that they're custodians of, and most of them don't have a clue what it means. But they're doing an important job by preserving this corpus of symbolism through the layout of the lodge, the meaning of every component in the lodge, because it's a purely astronomical allegory. And then you have the Masonic carpets, and that's where you have the whole story of the comet, the flood. It's all there. The acacia plant, it's all there.
It's all, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's all also an integral part of how Washington, D.C. was designed. Is that true?
You know, I honestly haven't studied that too much.
What I've seen is that there's a bunch of videos where you could watch it where they sort of describe how the layout, is in some way some sort of sacred geometry.
I think
what it's based on.
Freemasons were massively involved in the construction of Washington, as they were of many great cities. The city I live in, England, has got the major Masonic architecture.
So is it like people like me, like my initial prejudice? I hear something like the Masons, like, oh, fucking dude's in a cult, get out of here, leave me alone. Like we assume that all groups of people that follow anything somehow or another are wacky.
Masons, in my opinion, they're largely a drinking club for men. Mainly, that's what it is.
Just a bunch of dudes.
I think that's the cover. Yeah. I think if you can get, let's say, 5% of granddaughters at a university to go, my grandpa's a Mason, and he just puts on a goofy hat and gets drunk with his buddies. It's like, yeah, bitch, he don't know the secrets. That's the whole point.
Alex, if you Google Simpsons Stonemason song, there's a whole thing where
I'd love to play it,
where they did the Freemasons, and it's like, who keeps the electric car on wrap? Who keeps the Martians under wrap? We do. And it's all about the Stonecutters and Illuminati, the secret society. There's a whole song. It's hilarious.
I'm floored.
You should play it. Google it, dude.
I should play it.
Great.
if we haven't gotten it turned off yet, we're going to get this stream shut down.
Simpsons did it.
Yeah. Here's what I love. I may not be able to educate Doug with textbooks, but yellow cartoons will never leave him.
No, really.
He'll remember. No, he'll remember it forever.
It's just anything I've seen, man.
Anything I see. I remember your
I
show
watch
just as
and I
much as
remember.
Bart Simpson.
I watch and I remember. It's how I work.
What's up, Doc? Anywho. Ricky, any wrapping thoughts on the beautiful Freemasons? They're nice guys.
As the professor said, you just got to keep the enough good at the bottom that believe in God. And as y'all was just saying, it will give the illusion of we're just all drinking buddies, and just a few that trickle up the top will.
That's a great point. And I think to piggyback off of that, the biggest hope is ending with Randall Carlson's clip there, where it's like, I hope that their need for symbolism and that through line of tradition and reoccurring practices, I hope that's what they're able to use to prove that it is one big triangle, that you use the bottom rung to hide the higher rungs. And something we've been hearing from the beginning, and it could very well be the case in a world with any hope still left, and it's that their symbolism will be the death of them. That's what we can hope, is that will be the thread that we can use to tie something that seems untieable. Will, any wrapping thoughts on that?
Whatever they say, that whatever we said they did it.
Facts.
Like 100%.
Facts. Douglas, any wrapping thoughts?
I mean, dude, we know Freemasons are connected to our history. All of our founding fathers were them. So the history runs deep. The connections run deep. I mean, we barely have scratched the surface because we don't know.
He's not wrong.
Don't know. Our money has Freemason stuff on the back of it. The dollar bill, the eye at the top of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye.
I just think a national treasure.
Yeah. Again, Doug's nailed it.
Yep. Well,
all right, let's close this bad boy out. So the last point is exactly where this lands, Doug, because whether this case ends in convictions, acquittals, or something in between, it's not just testing 22 individuals. It's testing how we, as the public, interpret power, secrecy, and association. Because large, influential networks, Freemasonry included, have existed for centuries. That's not speculation, that's history. They've included people with real authority, real access, and real influence across governments, business, and culture. And most of the time, that influence operates quietly, legitimately, even benevolently. But here's the tension. The very qualities that make those organizations strong, trust, loyalty, discretion, are the same qualities that, if abused, can make wrongdoing harder to see and easier to coordinate. That doesn't make the institution guilty, but it does make scrutiny inevitable. And that's the line this case forces everyone to walk. Because on one side, you have a fundamental principle of justice. Individuals are responsible for their actions, not the groups they belong to. But on the other side, you have a very real question. When does a network stop being just a shared affiliation and start becoming an enabling structure? That's not a conspiracy question. That's a structural one. And it applies far beyond Freemasonry to corporations, political circles, nonprofits, even governments themselves. So as this trial unfolds, the outcome matters. Absolutely. But just as important is how we respond to it. Do we demand evidence or lean into assumption? Do we have individuals held accountable or paint them with a broad brush? Do we ignore the role networks can play or overstate it to the point of distortion? Because getting that balance wrong cuts both ways. It can either allow real abuses of power to hide behind reputation or destroy legitimate institutions under the weight of suspicion. And in a moment where trust in institutions is already fragile, that balance matters more than ever. So this case doesn't just leave us with a verdict to watch. It leaves us with a responsibility to separate secrecy from guilt, to separate influence from intent, and to remember that the truth, especially in cases like this, usually isn't found in the shadows or in the headlines. It's found in the evidence. And whether that evidence reveals a criminal network or a narrative that ran ahead of the facts, that's what will ultimately decide if this story becomes a warning or a correction. All right, let's close out this topic for us.